so rack 'em up. Ooh, mama, it's cocktail hour, so pour it up. Pour it up.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Zeta Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Come on in. We need to talk, okay? There is some explosive things going on YouTube right now that you guys do not know. So you already know it's cocktail hour. So get your cannabis, get your coffee, get your cocktails, get whatever your poison is and get inside because I got some shit to share today. Okay, so for everybody that's been dropping in the comments, hello. I want to shout out to everybody that be in the comments. You guys have been super supportive. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for giving me the motivation to continue on this journey because the stories are given, guys. So today we're going to be discussing Chris Todd. Chris Todd is the author of Kim Porter's book, and he just came out to Law and Crime and basically spoke about the authenticity of the book. So you already know your girl had her ears to the street, and I have the video here to share. Shout out to someone in the comments who actually told me about this. I appreciate you because this is such a good interview. So check it out.
As for investigating, doing the autopsy, looking at the autopsy close,
okay,
I'm open to that. Yeah, but mainly I'm focused on the memoir.
So let's talk about this. How do you know for sure it's her words? It's a memoir from her because it's in typewritten, right? It's you would say that it was from a computer. How do you know it's from her?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I'm getting that asked all the time. I work a lot of cases. Okay, I claim to have solved the two most famous cold cases in history. Okay, I like to think I'm good at what I do. So when they came to me, and when I work with any whistleblower or source, I don't always believe them. I don't believe everything they say. I put them through my test, by my feel, my spirituality, forensics. There's a lot of things that I do. Dealing with the sources and the people that I've contacted closely, obviously it's a dark story. It's dangerous. I'm familiar with this. Whistleblowers and sources don't always tell you everything. They don't show you metadata. They don't show you things that are going to trace it directly to them. So, like I said in the Rolling Stone article and another one that's coming out today or tomorrow, if you put my feet to the fire and God asks me life or death, do you know it's 100% her flash drive? No, I do not. But based on my feel, I prayed on it and I felt I was to take a leap of faith. So I came forward with it.
Some people would say, why publish it if you're not 100% sure?
Well, I also am an investigative producer, an author. I'm a storyteller. A lot of my fans know me very well. And the media in Hollywood, a lot of times, they don't want the truth. So they do projects and stories and unscripted and scripted that are not always completely 100% true. I'm no different than them. I would like to turn this book into a movie or a series, and we're shopping that right now.
What, from reading these pages, what is your overall takeaway? If this is in fact Kim Porter's memoir, what is your takeaway from it?
It's disturbing. It's dark. It's sad. This is an abused woman telling her story. When I first read the whole thing, I only had a couple pages at first. Now, as for the tapes, I've been told that I can have access to the tapes.
What are the tapes? First, start there. What tapes are you talking about?
The big ones.
You're talking about sex tapes.
Yeah, but with very famous people.
Okay, so talk to us about what you were told about the tapes.
That if I pass the test, they trust me, I will be the one to do it.
Who's they?
The sources and the people around the community of Kim and Diddy.
And with all due respect, why wouldn't they bring that information to law enforcement? Why wouldn't they just drop it in, CNN's or ABC or any other news outlet's mailbox? Why come to you as opposed to law enforcement or another media organization?
If one of the people are underage In the sex tape, I have to, per my attorney, go to the FBI. I'm not going to comment right now if I'm in possession of the tapes or not, per my lawyer. So, but to answer your question, these people are scared. And what you're saying, like, well, if they just dropped it off at CNN or they just emailed it, that's not the appropriate way to do this.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, you're in a very interesting position right now, and clearly a lot of people are very interested in what you've presented. But I mentioned this before, I'm going to mention this again. As you know, this has been met with criticism. Porter's family and friends say this memoir is a fake. Albie Shore says it's fabricated, that it's offensive. Reportedly also came out and said, quote, a significant suit headed right for the heads of the responsible parties who dragged my name into this. Porter's friends, Kimora Lee Simmons, LaWanda Lane, told Rolling Stone that they don't know you at all. Lane said every page in that book is false, that Porter wouldn't write a memoir, that she would never write a memoir, that she liked her life to be private. Rolling Stone also reported that a source close to the Combs family says the family is exploring all of their options and saying, quote, the baseless pages in the book not only misrepresent Miss Porter's lived experience and legacy, but also continue to cause unnecessary distress to her loved ones. And her children came out with a statement today on Instagram, which I read before. What's your reaction to all that?
We did $1 million in sales in 12 days. The people want the truth. There's people writing me from all over the world, thanking me. What you just said, I know I'm still reading this stuff. I can't even keep up with it right now. I've actually have to hire people to read the stuff. We have to think about who these people are talking about. They're possibly talking about the devil. So if they say it's not real, remember who's saying that. Okay? A lot of people believe it's real. A lot of African Americans believe it's real. They're telling me, they're calling me. I'm talking to all the bloggers and podcasters because I'm an open book. I talk to the little people. So my point is, I still am assessing what's being said by everybody close. I get it. But this is what happens just like on my other cases. Yeah, they said they didn't do it too. And it turned out to be I was right. So like I said, this is going to play out. I can't say I'm 100% right this second, but I'm not pulling that book down. Under my First Amendment, my civil rights, I'm not pulling it down.
Are you prepared to potentially be sued over this?
Absolutely, I'm already prepared. And also, let's remember, Amazon, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. Okay? I'm sure he's for freedom of speech and also some form of free press. I've been blocked and censored by the media for years, and I'm not going to bring it up. Everyone can do their own homework. It's not happening to me anymore.
So there was a quote from you in that Rolling Stone article where you say, if I'm so hot and my story and project's #1 on Amazon, where is everybody? Where's my agent? Where's CIA? The people I called for 12 years. I'm trying to explain to you, this is not about Kim Porter. It's about Chris Todd. And I wonder if somebody could interpret that statement and say, you know, he's taking this and he's saying whatever he needs to say for fame and fortune. It's not about getting the real message out there. It's not about getting Kim Porter's story out there. It's about Chris Todd. What would your response be to that?
You know, I worked really hard to get to this point. And the other case that I did recently, that was supposed to happen like this. That was supposed to go viral, and it didn't. And that's up to God. I don't control that. Obviously, we're here at this moment, and it's probably the biggest scandal story in America right now. I feel that I just work hard, keep my heart and mind open, and I'm kind of guided spiritually. And I will say this, and I don't know how this will come off to people. I have many cases and many victims. My clients are mostly murdered victims or deceased victims. I am the voice of the voiceless. Right? Now, what I meant by saying well, that's not about Kim so much, it's about Chris Todd. That's to keep a little bit of a buffer for her. Okay? So that everyone's not so focused. And I know also the sources, they know that too. And I'm not stupid. Are these sources playing me a little bit? Maybe, but that's okay. If I have to go through some pain and hardship, if I have to go to court, it's not going to be my first time in court. And I put out a message to some of the people to get to the lawyers, be careful. Because remember, you're talking about Kim. It turns out that it's Kim's typos and they're her lies. Remember, you're talking about abused woman.
And
okay, guys, did you just see that? Like, I am floored. Like, I believe him 100%. Let's talk about it. So Chris Todd is alluding to be a truth teller. He said he's a book writer. He says that he is that he has solved cold cases before. I'm actually pretty interested in that. So I do want to do some more research on him, and maybe I will do that, and we'll talk about it sometime this week. But I want to see what cold cases he solved. So he spoke about he has tapes that he can show to solidify that he's telling the truth. Now, there's something about, and let me know if you agree with this in the comments, right? I understand what he said when he spoke about spirituality, when he talks about a vibe, a feeling, because you know that saying, like, if you guys have kids, right? I have kids. I can always tell when my kids are lying. I can always tell when someone is not being forthcoming. Now, one would argue, well, that's your kids, right? How do you know a stranger is lying? It's a vibe. It's an energy. You can't explain it, right? So here is a man who has been chosen to be a whistleblower, even though he's not calling himself a whistleblower. He's actually saying that the people who gave him the information are whistleblowers. And they are the people around Kim and Diddy. Okay? So he's saying that he, with everything that he has been given, and he has a lot of stuff, that he feels 100, well, he doesn't say 100%, but he feels in his heart that this is true. Like, have you ever just got a vibe when you can tell something is true? Now, he says he has things to back it up. We're going to get into that. We are going to get into that. But what I thought was interesting in this clip is he said that if it involved underage children, he had to go straight to the FBI. And then he told us that he cannot confirm, or his lawyer told him not to confirm or deny whether or not he already had the tapes. The way he's talking, guys, is that he has those tapes. They have to have showed him the tapes to make him a believer. Can we think about this, like, clearly? Let's think about this. You're a middle-aged white guy. You've been around. You've basically helped out with cases. You're an experienced, well, you think that you're gonna go off on a whim against one of the strongest people out there, Diddy himself, and not have the facts to back it up? Like, this is real, guys. It is happening. We found the person that is telling Kim's story, and I'm going crazy. Like, I feel like we just broke something. Like, definitely let me have a drink, okay? Hold on. I cannot believe we are here. Tell me it doesn't sound believable. Let's think about this strategically. Like I was saying in my last video, right? Why would Al be sure, say that the book is real? He's pictured in the book having a sexual relationship with Diddy. It doesn't show him in the best light. The kids, we already spoke about the kids. We know that they've been controlled for years. Who's speaking on behalf of the kids? Diddy. He's not going to openly admit that he did this. It's not in his best interest when he has a sex trafficking case looming, right? It makes so much sense that this man printed this book because the information that he has in it is so vital and he wanted it to get out. Some things that I actually took away from this is he's very believable. He is very believable. Like, I see the sincerity. I see that this is a case that he's just trying. He doesn't seem like he's someone that's in it for the money. 1 million in 12 days? Shout out to everybody on Amazon, that including myself, that bought the book. And if you guys have not bought the book and it's sold out, you can catch it here on Mama's Cocktail Hour, because I did a reading, an entire 60-page reading of the book, and it's fucking bomb. Okay. Now, I want you guys to get into another clip real quick before we come back from the jump and talk about it, because there was questions as to whether or not he was editing the book or he edited it, or I think Al B. Shore said that he may have added some stuff in there. He answers those questions so eloquently. Check it out.
I have some things I haven't released yet that can show very much more that this is really hers. I have to do it piece by piece. And also the sources are testing me a little, and they're trying to, we all agreed that we need to see what happens when the memoir comes out first. I have 2 pages from that flash drive that are endearing, they're heartfelt, they're actually done by someone else wanting to help Kim. And that really explains more of why this is happening, why they waited all these years, why they're using me. I mean, they're calling me a culture vulture and a parasite and a colonizer. I get it. I'm just telling you right now, God brought me to her, or God brought her to me. I'm sorry that I'm white.
Let me ask you this. So the timing of this, Sean Combs was arrested and indicted last week. The book then comes out. Well, actually, that's not true. The book has been out for how long?
This is what we're going to talk about, and this is going to be fascinating to you. And I also want you to bring up the name Jamal T. Millwood.
Putting that to the side for a second, I wanted to ask you this.
Okay, the book was published September 6th.
Okay, the book was published September 6th.
Sean Combs was arrested later. He wasn't,
yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be arrested. That's what people are trying, they're confused about. They're thinking this is, oh, Diddy did this. And they're saying, well, I didn't have some inside source that he's going to be arrested. I'm not the FBI.
Right.
CIA agent. Okay. So I took a leap of faith. Now, at that point, when it started to come out, it was kind of quiet until they did an article about me, which I'm grateful for. Then things exploded quickly. Okay. I would have put my name on the book if Sean Combs was actually in a jail cell. He wasn't. Okay. So it's cryptic. And that's why the book says for Kimberly Porter, not by. I can't say by her. That I have some issues legally with that. So my point is, September 6th, it comes out. It's a leap of faith. It catches fire. He goes, okay, cool. I didn't know he was going to be arrested. So the timing, maybe there's some more spiritual element involved here.
Has law enforcement gotten in touch with you after this this book became so public? The book became published and these allegations came out, or not even allegations, the words that you published. Has the law enforcement reached out to you?
I cannot comment on that.
Okay. So, Chris, before we finish up, what do you want people to take away from this? And again, because you're in this very interesting position, what are you hoping people take away from this, and what can they expect within the next 6 months?
I want people to hear and feel Kim's voice. So that I didn't write that book. None of it. I edited some of it. I moved some formatting around to help her punch at the end of the chapters. I put the disclaimer in. I X'd out certain people. They didn't want me to. They wanted to burn the forest down. I X'd out a couple people and situations, and I removed the photos also from the book. I am going to release the photos probably today. As to what happens.
What photos? What photos do you mean?
There's photos in there that no one's ever seen that are from the flash drive.
Can you give us any clue about what those are?
I released the Kim Porter abuse photo, we call it, where I had sent it to reporters with blue on her face, like blurred out. That was released by the Daily Mail. You can see it there. No one has that photo. No one ever saw it. They only have a one-time use for it. So I'm going to give that possibly to other outlets. I have other photos with Sean Diddy Combs with famous music executives. I have them doing some things. There's no nudity. It's not sexual. What I'm saying is they're pictures of him that tell a story. And so nobody ever saw these pictures. So the sources wanted me to reveal them, but I wanted just Kim's voice to be heard first and just for her to talk to the audience. But now that, the lawyer for Sean Combs, one of them, is using words against me and saying things, I'm now going to start releasing things. It's my turn to fight back.
Let me just end on this. In terms of your research into Kim Porter, you said you looked into this. I'm sure you got a great understanding of who she is. You hear her family saying she was a private person, would never write a memoir. Do you disagree with that, in the sense that maybe whatever was handed to you was written by somebody else to get this narrative out? So back to the overall question of how you think this comes from Kim Porter. Do you think she really was the kind of person that would write something like this to get it out there, or not?
I do. And I've dealt with a lot of victims on cases, and if her death had mysterious circumstances and she's coughing up blood at her Toluca Lake house, and there's some suspicious things about her body being moved and where the evidence is, look at what she's saying that he did to her. Okay, he's threatened her many times. So, and now the thing too, look, if I was saying this about some kind of halfway criminal, we're talking about Sean Combs. Think about that. So I'm all for it. I will fight for her. And if somebody proves to me that it's fake, albeit, prove it.
I loved everything about him checking Diddy's lawyers. When he said that Diddy's lawyers are talking crap, it is now his turn to release things. Guys, this is epic. It looks like we are truly in the age of information, and we are truly in the age of people like speaking their truth. And for me, I believe this guy. Can there be a possibility that this not be true? Of course, like anything else, right? But he has so much to lose, like he does. And I'm excited to see the photos, to see even the possibility of something like this coming together. For so many years, there have been all of these whispers. Like, if you guys check out a really good podcast that really spoke about Kim Porter and broke it down for me, was oh my God, I'm forgetting his name now. Tough Podcast. There it goes. Tough Podcast, Tough News. He's the one that started leaking a lot of this information back in the day, years ago. So could it be that these truth tellers, these whistleblowers, were really waiting to give the information to the right people? Well, it looks like we're going to find out. Not only did he say that he's going to be releasing tapes, but he said he's going to be releasing photos. He's going to be releasing 2 letters that someone wrote, who was a friend of Kim's, that wrote to her or for her, probably about the abuse, probably just only solidifying the story. And maybe we will finally get a chance to figure out who these whistleblowers are. Is it allegedly Kimora? Could it be Ebony? Could it be her kids? Could it be Quincy? There's so many people. There was also a girl who did a podcast that she was really close to Kim. There are so many people that this book can be. But regardless of what, your girl's gonna have her ears to the street. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna be on the lookout for any of these photos that he says that he's gonna be leaking. The tapes, if they're gonna be coming out. I think that a lot more information is gonna be coming out now, especially because Diddy's locked up. He did make a lot of sense. He said that he dropped the video on September 6th, which is my daughter's birthday, by the way. So it's kind of a dope day. And Diddy was indicted September 16th. He said he just calls it like luck or divine energy, right? Like it just happened that way. He said that he went out on a whim and dropped the book on that date, even though at that time Diddy wasn't indicted. It just so happened that 10 days later, Diddy was indicted. And that's the reason why the book does not have his name and instead has Jamal Tillwood, I believe, or Millwood, which is Tupac's alias. So, for when, he died or he's allegedly still here, whatever, you guys get it, right? It is so deep. you know your girl's gonna have her ears to the street. If you guys have not read the book and it's intriguing to you, you can do so here on my channel. I have a book club called After Hours. I do the entire 60-page book there. You guys have some time cleaning, please do so. I will be back this evening to upload Bling. We are also reading Bling. I think we're up to chapters 7 and 9, so that's coming. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Your girl is working hard. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all on the next video.
Ooh, mama, it's cocktail hour, so rack 'em up. Ooh, mama, it's cocktail hour, so pour it up.